Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we have a few updates in the Vallow Daybell case, just some court filings that I want to go over and some hearings upcoming, so let's get into it. The first thing we have is Lori's trial schedule has been formally issued by the court. Her pretrial conference will take place on February 25th at 10 a.m. and the jury trial begins on March 22nd at 10 a.m. So the paper basically states that pretrial motions must be filed and heard in compliance with the Criminal Rule 12. Discovery must be completed prior to the pretrial conference. So now we have a date for when the discovery must be turned over to the defense from the state, and that is by February 25th. Pretrial conference, the parties shall discuss the potential settlement of the case before the date of the pretrial conference. The day of the pretrial conference, the parties must be prepared to inform the court whether the case is going to trial. All plea offers shall be placed on the record. All plea agreements shall be reduced to writing or stated on the record. Written plea agreements shall be signed by the attorneys for both parties and by the defendant. And pursuant to IC 18207, written notice must be given at least 90 days in advance of the trial date if a party intends to raise any issue of mental condition and or call any expert witness concerning such issue. That part was interesting. So now we have the formal dates for Lori's pretrial conference. Bear in mind, though, that this is all subject to change, because we do have the motion for Joinder before us. Number 6, the motion to continue. All motions to continue the trial date must be in writing. If adequate time exists, the motion may be made in open court. The motion shall state that the reason for the continuance, and all written motions and stipulations for a continuance shall be accompanied by an order to vacate and reset the trial and pretrial conferences. The jury instructions must be submitted to the parties at least 7 days before the trial date. Exhibits and witness list. All exhibits and witnesses shall be submitted by the parties to the court at least 7 days before the trial date. Alright, and there's a notice about alternate judges, and it is signed by Dane Watkins. That is for Lori's trial coming up in Fremont County. And this is the trial for the 2 charges of conspiracy to conceal, destroy, or alter evidence. Moving on, we also have Chad's trial schedule. This is before Stephen Boyce, and his pretrial conference is December 8th at 10 a.m., so that's coming up a little sooner. His jury trial begins on January 11th. All the same basic stuff is in the rest of the document. So now we have the firm dates issued by the court, and we're just going to have to be patient. But we do have some fun stuff coming up in the meantime. Let's take a look at these motions that have finally been scheduled. We've been waiting for these dates and we got them last night. The motion to dismiss that was raised by John Pryor will be heard on October 29th at 9 a.m. before Judge Boyce. The motion hearing will also be heard at the same time, and the motion for change of venue will be heard on November 24th at 9 a.m. before Judge Boyce. So those hearings will be coming up. If they are streamed, of course I'll bring them to you live, so mark your calendars, but we'll be keeping an eye on that. The motion to dismiss I expect to be a relatively short hearing, because, really, I don't think too much is going to happen in that hearing, but we will watch it live and see. You never know. Sometimes these things are a little surprising. Another filing that we have that's come out in the last couple of days, John Pryor has issued his response to the motion for Joinder that was submitted by Rob Wood. What it says here, comes now John Pryor, counsel for the defendant in response to plaintiff's motion to join this case with State v. Lori Vallow. Defense asserts that the overwhelming amount of local media coverage makes it impossible for the Mr. Daybell to receive a fair trial in the eastern Idaho area. Joining cases combines the coverage of both defendants' local media as well as national media and only adds to the level of attention and knowledge prospective jurors would have in this case. This is particularly true in all eastern Idaho where media coverage and local attention is at an extremely high level. This Joinder would only add more attention and more bias to a case that has grasped the attention of almost everyone in eastern Idaho. Joinder would be extremely prejudicial to Mr. Daybell to present his defense. Yeah, okay, good luck with that. I think that's a pretty weak argument. Certainly when we discuss this case, very few people talk about Lori Vallow without talking about Chad, or talk about Chad without talking about Lori. They're already joined at the hip in the minds of most people, so I don't think he's got a big argument here. I really don't. It seems to me that what he's alleging is that having their cases joined makes Chad look even worse. They were buried in his yard. He can't look too much worse. Unless maybe we paired him up with Ted Bundy, but that's not going to happen. So, yeah, good luck, Mr. Pryor, with that. We have 2 more pieces of paper. Now, these are a little blurry. I'm sorry about that. I did not get the original PDF files. 2 motions were filed by Mark Means on behalf of Lori Vallow. One says that Lori Noreen Vallow, a.k.a. Lori Noreen Daybell, and provide notice he does not object to the motion for Joinder filed by plaintiff on or about September 1st. Interesting. I didn't see that one coming. Mark Means does not object to the motion for Joinder. So, we have a very interesting dynamic playing out here. We have John Pryor saying, I don't want the cases joined. No, no, no. Keep Lori away from us. And we have Lori's lawyer, Mark Means, saying, yeah, sure. We'll go together. That's cool. Huh. I really didn't expect to see that. I'm surprised by that. I really thought that Mark Means would follow along in John Pryor's footsteps. I'm not sure if they're talking. I'm not sure if both of them coming from these different directions is part of a plan or a plot, or who knows what's going on, but we're just going to have to wait and see. The other document that we have is just the judge saying, yes, he heard the motion on behalf of the defendant that Lori would like to wear street clothing as long as it is provided solely by the defendant, that she's allowed to wear street clothing to any and all hearings. So that's what we have this week. Just a few court filings. If you'd like to see the documents themselves, they are posted in the Discord channel. There is a link in the description below, so you can join and grab these documents for yourself if you'd like to have them. There's something coming up on this Friday that I think is very interesting, and I hope you will take part in. The beautiful Annie Cushing will be doing a live stream on her YouTube channel discussing the shooting of Charles Vallow and the Chandler Police Department and their response to it. This should be very interesting. You know that she has done some amazing research into all of this, and I can't wait to hear what she has to say. So there is an iCard up above to her YouTube channel. It's called Annielytics. Please subscribe there, and please tune in for this live stream. It should be very interesting. She takes a lot of comments and questions from the chat, so I'm excited to see her for that. Also, if you're interested in learning more about the legal back end of this case, which is pretty complicated, please sign up for the LoriVallowStory.com newsletter. This is written by a criminal defense attorney, Lori Hellis, and she tends to outline all of the legal shenanigans going on and explain to us what it actually means in layman's terms in a way that we can understand. Very well researched, very useful resource for all of us following this case, so I suggest you sign up there. It is free. So, there you go. All right, that's all I have for you today. All the documents are in Discord. Please check out the resources listed in the description below. There's stuff coming up for Patreon and YouTube channel members. Today we're going to have a discussion about narcissism and empathy. So stay tuned for that, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye for now.